people to get in and stuff.
There we go.
We'll get everything going and we'll set up. My phone won't die this week, so I can read Instagram comments.
Shit, I'm at 29.
I'm at 63.
There you go. All right, we're live on the gram.
All right, and let me double check. We're live on Twitter. We are live on the gram. This right here, so we can read comments.
There he is. All right, let him in. Add stage.
Add the stage, unless you want to talk to him off stage. What's
Hey,
up?
can you guys hear me?
Yeah. How we doing?
Hey, hold on, man. I can't hear you guys. Okay, give me a second.
Damn, he has a sick ass. He has a better setup than I do. I gotta step my game up, dude. I bought a Rich Gannon signed jersey the other day.
What are you guys doing? You want to say hi to the people? These are my children's. I know my son was out here. I'm like, bro, you need to put on a shirt if you're gonna ask a question. Coming out here without. We're live right now.
Hey, yo, what's up, guys? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Cool. What's up? Yeah.
How you doing? Nice posters you got back there. Damn.
Oh, thanks, bro. Yeah, it's from The Nation on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. We were joking. You know who John Kukui is? Old school Raider fan. You heard him or no? Him and Baker.
He's like he's a bald dude, isn't he?
Yeah.
We were laughing because we share your memes all the time, and I was like thinking, I'm like, man, I never seen his face. And John was joking. I was like, watch, he's gonna come on with a helmet and a mask, so you can't see his face because nobody knows what he looks like yet.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, I don't go live very often, but yeah, I try to every now and then.
Yeah, man, that's sick. I mean, fuck. Every morning we wake up to your post, so
Your memes every day. It's like it's an alert.
It's like a good morning post, man. Wake up, it's the first thing on there.
Yeah, man. I try to bullshit on there.
You stay up late, or how do you get them out so fast?
I mean, usually the game's like what they end at like 4:00, so I usually just start grinding on the memes right after the game and then just post them. And yeah,
there you go. Shit, there you go. Well, it's working out for you, man. I mean, people love it.
I appreciate it.
I told Q, I was like, you know, he does YouTube too, right? I was like, he does play breakdowns. I watch him. And then I asked him, I'm like, hey, are you the same guys that went on YouTube? He's like, yeah, it's me. I was like, so did you branch from YouTube to start doing the memes and stuff or what?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really active. I've been doing YouTube now for like a couple of years, and I didn't really do Instagram for a while. And then I don't know, I just out of nowhere, the guy from Raiders Resistance, he told me to start, getting on IG more, and I just started. I was like, fuck, I like to do memes, so I just started bullshitting on there and see what happens. But yeah.
Hey, you get a shit ton of followers. People like them. They share them all the time, so it's pretty cool. And it's like, all right, that one's funny. That's a fucking banger. The most frustrating to me is when you work on one, you're like, man, this one's going to be hot, and then it doesn't get any likes. You're like, this is bullshit.
I know, dude.
Out of me.
Yeah, and then sometimes like you get ones where you're like, bro, this ain't going to hit, and it fucking like goes viral, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's how Twitter be too. The most stupid shit goes viral on Twitter.
Yeah, I told him Twitter's is for people that are just mentally challenged because like you'll just post dumb things. Like I'm gonna put the word just fuck and it'll get 20,000 likes for no reason. And I was like, you can't go in depth on Twitter, man. You gotta just be silly and stupid, or just argue with some of the Raider commentators. You'll be fine.
Yeah. So,
what you mean,
Alex, have you ever
cutting back on there or what?
What was that?
On Twitter, they'd be like arguing back with you or what?
Twitter is the most toxic environment. I've been called every name.
Nah, bro, I haven't had Twitter in years. I have an account, but I don't use it. I just like every now and then, I'll just like to see like what Adam Schefter posts or whatever like that. But yeah, I don't really go on Twitter like that.
Nah, bro. If you tapped in with Twitter, your memes would go crazy because people love that on Twitter. It's so toxic on Twitter, though. People it's so bad because there's a lot of people who don't put their face. So you'll post an opinion and some dude would call you a retard in the comments, no picture, nothing. It's just like a fucking Raider shield. You're just like, I can't even talk shit to this dude.
Not the LA fires. I didn't put that on Instagram. I put you should. I heard LA's low on water. We can put out some of the fires with Charger tears. And I was like, that's an X post. That's not an Instagram post. Instagram, you'll get banned. X, you can post whatever you want.
Yeah, X is super, super. It's just off the walls. Look, we got Max.
My kid. He's always acting weird.
Why? Because you want to get raided out?
Yeah, always, man.
Cool.
All right,
well, let's
get
dive in, man. We got a lot of let's get into it. This is RaiderAlex. Thank you for coming on. We got enough people in now, so we'll start talking a little more. He's RaiderAlex official. He's the one who makes all the memes. He does play breakdowns on YouTube. Give him a follow. So trying to grow everybody. Everyone is here for the same reason, right? We're all trying to, we all have a passion for the Raiders.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
Even though they don't give us a reason to be this passionate, we all are.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro.
All right, well, let's dive in, man. I mean, the season obviously wasn't bad, but do you have any? Let's see how we can word this. Obviously, we need a coach. Obviously, we need a GM. The bright sides, I believe, from the regular season was Brock Bowers. Quarterback's a disaster. Devontae Adams is gone. What position do you think we need the most of?
Oh, quarterback for sure, man.
I'd say
quarterback. Yeah. I mean, O'Connell, it's like I'm kind of like mixed about him, but just the biggest takeaway I can take from him is like I'm not super confident in him. I can't go into next season Aiden O'Connell's QB1. I'm like super excited about it. I mean, like he's got a chance to develop. He's got some nice things to his game. He's good with the football, accurate. Biggest thing I see with him is inconsistency, but ultimately, man, I think you got to get another young quarterback in there to give him some competition. Definitely. And yeah, I mean, typically, more times than not, 4th round quarterbacks don't end up being the franchise guy. So that's how I see O'Connell. But yeah, I don't know what you guys think about the quarterback spot.
I'm on the same boat as you, man. O'Connell, I mean, he panics in the pocket. Yeah, he's young. He's not very mobile. The NFL is definitely moving towards that mobile quarterback type of scheme, the rollout. And it's working for most of these teams. I mean, you look at Josh Allen, Jaden Daniels, all these guys are balling out, man. Just running the same little, like they all just roll out. They all roll out right, and they hope the receivers follow. They find the open guy, boom, 10, 15 yards at a time. I think we need a quarterback.
Forever. AOC he's not him, man. You watch his film, highly inconsistent, all over the place, panics, forces the ball, misses reads. He is a rookie, 2nd-year player now, but at the same time, it's like he's not it. And like you said, 4th-round quarterbacks don't make it. I did a whole statistical analysis of how many quarterbacks play from each round and where they go, and people still want to drink the AOC Kool-Aid. They're like, no. The problem with Raider fans, we've been bad for so long. We latch on to good, mediocre players and think they're good or great, and it's bad because now people are fighting that AOC should be the starter. And for some reason, they think if AOC started this year, hey, we'd be 10-7. It's like, no, we'd probably still be a losing team. Yeah. So, quarterback's the main need, but it's like, probably not going to get one this year, man, unless we trade up. And it's going to be very difficult because the first 3 teams want a quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting that you brought up that whole statistical thing with quarterbacks because last year was a Super Bowl 58, right?
Yeah,
correct. Yeah.
If you, I have to look it up, but I'm pretty sure out of the 58, Super Bowl winning quarterbacks, I think 30 or 32 of them has been 1st round talent. So
yeah,
if you're a guy that likes probabilities and things like that, your best bet is to get one in the 1st round, which we haven't done that in 17 years or.
And then the other 20 is Tom Brady.
And that's the problem. People quote, "Oh, Tom Brady this, Tom Brady that." I'm like, Tom Brady is a statistical anomaly in the NFL. It doesn't happen. He's 1 in a million, a gem in the rough, and people want to latch onto that. We can get a 3rd-round quarterback. I remember all the hype around Spencer Rattler last year. He's going to start. He's going to overtake Carr, and look what he's doing. He didn't win a game all year. So it's just these late-round quarterbacks have too many holes in their game usually to develop very well, but we want to attach to them, and I'm like, no, you got to quit. Just let it go. Pull the Band-Aid off. Fucking draft somebody. So hopefully we do that this year.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, whether it's trading up or whatever we do, it depends who we even get at coach. I think if you get Ben Johnson, he obviously is going to want a quarterback. Any of these coaches want a quarterback. Can we get him a quarterback is the question. How aggressive we are going to be at the draft.
Yeah. What do you guys think about this year in the draft, though, the quarterbacks? I know the interesting thing about this draft class, I feel like everybody has a different opinion on it. Some years in the draft, like last year, everybody's kind of agreeing that Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams are the top guys. But this year, I mean, I don't know. A lot of people, some people hate this class, some people like it. What do you guys think?
From my perspective, I do think they are valued higher than what they should be. I think they should probably be late, teens maybe. It's anywhere from 10 to 20. Cam Ward, I believe, has a higher upside than Shador, but Shador can completely, outperform him just because of his willingness to learn, in my opinion. I think Dion has implemented in his brain that, learn from your coaches, learn from your mistakes. And he balled out. I mean, he did good. He changed Colorado completely.
Oh, yeah.
I like Shador. I'm a Shador fan. I've been a Shador fan. I ain't gonna lie. So I hope Raiders somehow do get Shador over Cam Ward. I think Cam Ward. I mean, he has the aura, whatever the kids call it nowadays. But
is
I don't know, man. In my opinion, maybe I'm an old school head. I don't know. In my opinion, when he stands in the pocket the way he does, it's kind of lazy.
And I pointed that out. I told some guys, some old football heads that I know, and a couple of them play college ball. They're like in their 60s and 70s. They play college ball for like the Pac-8. That's how old they are. And I said, hey, go watch film with Ward when he's in the pocket, when he has too much time. I was like, he just literally stands there and just I'm like, you do that in the NFL, you're going to get your fucking head taken off. Mm-hmm. And they watched it. They're like, wow, you're right. I'm like, yeah, I watch a lot of college football just so I know who's coming out. And I watch a lot of film on it so I can talk, and make educated discussions about it, not just talk out my ass for it. I was like, it's weird the way he stands back there. And I was like, you don't see anybody that does that. And that is not going to fly in the NFL. And right off the bat, when you started seeing the scouting combines coming out, that's what it was. A couple of the ESPN was no urgency in the pocket is what they put. I'm like, that's because he stands there. So, but I think that's just that might just be a precursor from being in college football. There's too much time back there. He's not going to have that time in the NFL.
What do you think, Alex? Who's your guy?
I mean, if I like between Cam Ward and Shador, I kind of like Shador a little bit more. I'm kind of with you. I don't love him. I feel like this draft class, I think the biggest issue is we're coming off of last year where that quarterback class was pretty stacked.
Yeah.
So it's always kind of like revisionist history in that sense. But I feel like Cam Ward's got more upside just because his physical traits are better. He's got a bigger arm. I like. He has like a more big playability than Shador, but Shador, I mean, I feel I like how he's reacted under pressure.
Mm-hmm.
He's overall pretty accurate with the football. I think the biggest thing that is kind of holding him back is just physically. There's nothing really special about him. Doesn't have a crazy arm, not super athletic, but I think he's a guy. He has to go to the right system to flourish. But at the same time, I don't really see him being like having that superstar ability, which ultimately when you draft like a quarterback that early, you're trying to see if you can, strike lightning in a bottle in that sense. But, another quarterback that's kind of been catching my eye, I don't know what you guys think about him, but Jackson Dart,
big arm, big arm guy. He needs some speed with his receivers. I agree. I like Jackson Dart.
So he was picking up film or picking up speed kind of in the middle of the year. So, obviously, Lane Kiffin. Anything that comes out of Lane Kiffin's coaching tree, I don't have zero faith in. Just telling you that right off the bat. But Lane Kiffin's offense in college is so good. Jackson Dart doesn't have to do anything. That's the problem. And that's his number one hit. If you watch him play against pro-style defenses like Kentucky and a couple other games, he F's up. He looks bad. Misses throws, misses reads, has to scramble out of the pocket when he shouldn't. 1-1 QB. And I told people, I was like, he has trouble reading defenses. Like, watch, he'll throw into coverage and he'll get tricked when they drop a backer in or do a spy, do a cover two, when they kind of have a spy on him. He'll get tricked and throwing into him. So that's the only real concern if he can start to read defenses, because he didn't have to do that in college. And it's kind of a big deal in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, like the Florida game too is another game where I noticed like he was balling out that game, and like I think like the last 3 minutes he threw 2 interceptions. So yeah, that's the the like you said, that Lane Kiffin often there's a lot of like one read throws, a lot of predetermined throws. But I like the physical traits he has. I like the intangibles he brings. So he's a guy. I mean the thing with him too, I'm not sure how most people have him as like a 3rd round quarterback. I think his draft stock is going to go up, but ultimately we'll see what happens. I don't know if you draft him at 6, if his draft stock starts picking up, but if he's there in the second round, I would definitely take a flyer on him.
Yeah, he'll be in the second round.
Are you talking early second? Or you're talking trade back into second? Because obviously Raiders, I think, are what 34, 35.
Yeah,
he'll probably I think by our because we're 6 overall, so I think by our 6 overall pick in the second round, he should be there. But I don't know, man. Every year in the draft though, there's always one quarterback that just like out of nowhere, they're first round talent. I don't know if that could be Jackson Dart this year, or maybe like a Jalen Milroe. So we'll see what happens.
I think Milroe could be a late first rounder just because of just where he's placed at right now.
If he runs the 40, if that dude goes out there. So do you know what he ran his 40 in his pro day? His combine at Alabama?
I want to guess it's like a 4.4.
Ran a 4.3.
Damn.
Yeah, that's how fast that dude is. He's 225 pounds too. That's the other part. He's not small. He ran like a 4.33, and that was 2 years ago. So he hasn't been timed in a 40 since then. If that dude comes out and runs a 4.3 40 as a quarterback at 230, he's going in first. Yeah, somebody's going to draft him just based off his athleticism. Like, hey, let's see what he can do. We'll teach him how to throw. Mm-hmm. And so the main argument I use with him, so Monroe to me has the highest ceiling of any player that's a quarterback in the draft. But the problem is he can't throw. So you got to teach him. And I give people the reference, we're old enough to watch Michael Vick play. When he came out of college, he couldn't throw, period. He threw like 8 or 9 touchdowns his senior year. He was not a thrower. He ran the ball, did the speed option, and did dink and dunk passes, and won that way. So, and people are like, you can't compare him to him. I'm like, he has better stats than Michael Vick did. It's just he's super athletic and he can't play quarterback very well. So it just depends how he develops. Same with Jalen Hurts. He couldn't throw the ball well until he went to Oklahoma. He looked like ass at Alabama and lost his spot. So,
Lamar Jackson too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Lamar Jackson had like 30 touchdown passes, something like that. But it was the same thing. His draft stock fell in his final game because he threw 4 interceptions in his bowl game. And it was like, oh, he can't play quarterback. He's not going to make the NFL. And then the Ravens got him, and look at him now. So it takes time to develop. It took him a couple years to get everything in. When you're an athlete, you use your athleticism first. You freak out, and you're like, all right, I'm going to run, instead of checking down and throwing it, things like that.
Yeah.
Well, let's get a question here. There's some guys here saying, wait for Manning. Is Manning the real deal? I mean, is it worth waiting? I mean, Raiders need a quarterback desperately. That would mean taking a whole other year. I mean, I'm not ready for that, even though, I mean, shit, I don't want to go 4-13 again.
No. And the thing is, there's no guarantee we're going to get him. That's the safest bet. You're betting on generational talent with a generational family. That's proven winners. I mean, Arch was the worst quarterback of that family. So, he's going to be good. There's not a doubt in my mind. At your bottom, you get Eli, who's won a Super Bowl. So, but the thing is, first overall pick is what's going to take him, and nobody's going to trade that first overall pick unless they have a franchise quarterback already. So it's not going to be easy to get him.
Yeah. The only thing with Archie, it's like I see all these mock drafts already have him like as a number 1 overall pick next year, but like I still haven't seen him start like a full college season. That's the thing that's just like, I don't want to like. What if he starts next year for Texas and he starts struggling? I don't. I need to see more, so I don't know, but. Like you said, he is part of that, that Manning family. He's got that hype behind him, and I don't know. I don't know if it's worth, drafting again, tanking again, I guess.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat as you. I was actually telling one of my buddies because he kept saying during the Texas game, put Archie in. And I was like, dude, he played 2 games fully. One of them was against a 2-10 school. The other one was against a school that went like 5-8.
Yeah,
I was like, he did good those games, but he was playing high school talent.
Yeah, and he's still young too. He's a sophomore. He can't even come out if he wants to.
Yeah, he is super young.
So I can come out.
I think the moral. I don't want to tank again. I mean, I don't want to go 4-13, and hopefully Archie's there. Hopefully someone didn't go 0-16 for him or something stupid.
I'm concerned why Drew Aller's not coming out. That doesn't make sense to me at all. Like
he tanked his own draft stock.
Yeah, that dude.
He was partying on the yacht. Come on.
Yeah. That dude is his NIL deal is going to be nuts. He's probably going to make $5 to $10 million next year. That's why he's going back.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that he didn't come out either, just because this class looks like it's going to be weaker than next year, and I feel like just off of his physical traits alone, like he probably would have been a top 5 pick.
Oh yeah. Somebody would have been dumb and picked Sanders above him, and then he'd have been second quarterback, and he'd be better. There's not a doubt in my mind he's going to be better than Sanders. It's just one of those things. Like Sanders, our expectations are going to be so high for him, whoever he goes to, and like Caleb Williams. People are calling Caleb Williams a bust. He had a decent rookie year. And so I was like looking at the numbers because people were like, oh, Caleb Williams is this and that. He's a bad quarterback. We should bench him. Like they're wanting to bench him midseason. He had, 70 sacks or something this year? I'd have to look at the exact number. But he had the highest number of sacks in the NFL, 50 or something like that. But the stat I like to look at is how many sacks you avoid. He ran away from 70-plus sacks this year. So he was he was hit and pressured on 150 throws. So like a third of his throws, he was getting pressured. So I was like,
that's crazy.
It's nuts. I was like, he's not going to do very well. A normal pressure rate is like 10%, 12%. Like a third of his passes, he's getting hit or sacked. I was like, that's way too high. That's going to turn him into David Carr.
That is crazy.
David Carr.
Yeah, I'm old, man. I've been watching football a long time.
Well, what about some free agency quarterbacks? I mean, let's deep dive into them. We're getting some comments over here. Sam Darnold.
Hell no.
Kirk Cousins. I'm on the same.
Oh my God! One of the fucking Raider columnists put like this badass team, but who's going to be quarterback? Like he's like, hey, we're going to draft Ashton Genty, and we're going to sign T Higgins, and he's like, at quarterback, we get Kirk Cousins. I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
That's a Raiders type move right there, but.
You know what? Let me go on a limb. I mean, Kirk Cousins is terrible. I mean, he loses prime time. He's not the best, but he kind of fits that. If we do get Ben Johnson, he kind of fits that Jared Goff mold.
Yeah, like Timu maybe, but I don't think so.
If he came cheap and we couldn't get a quarterback, I mean, take a flyer.
I would just run with AOC at that point. Like
AOC panics too much, in my opinion.
Yeah, here's the thing. If you remember this year, we were supposed to be good. If you get Genty and he does well, you get T Higgins, who's a proven number one if he stays healthy. It falls on your quarterback. You're like, all right, here's your job. Go and get it. Otherwise, we're drafting somebody. This is your last chance. And they could still try to draft somebody. They can still draft a late round quarterback. Like if you don't make it, we're going to start whoever we draft. So they could take a chance in somebody in the second round too, second or third. So that's a real thing. But yeah. I think AOC is going to start unless we draft a quarterback. And if we draft a late round, I think AOC is going to have more talent in the beginning and then it's going to fall off, and whoever we draft is going to start.
Yeah, I can roll with that. Couple other comments. Dylan Gabriel, he's super short.
Yeah, and he's 38. The guy's fucking Van Wilder going to Oregon. 25, 6 feet tall, 200 pounds. There's 2-3 quarterbacks in NFL that are that size. Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, and one other I can't remember. None of them are good. So, it's not a thing.
So let's wrap up this quarterback thing real quick. Alex, who do you think? You think we take a quarterback this year?
Shit, I hope so. I think we do.
You're like that. You ever see that Kodak Black thing from back in the day? I hope so.
Yeah. Yeah, we better, man. I mean, it's just I don't know if we take one in the first, but I ideally in the first 2 rounds, I'd like to take a quarterback, whether Shador falls to your lap or whether you get a Jalen Milroe, a Jackson Dart in the second round. Even if you had to trade up in the late first, I mean, I don't, I'm all for taking the risk when it comes to a quarterback, but we'll just see what happens. I mean, also it's going to depend who we get as the head coach. If we get Ben Johnson, it looks like he's probably going to get signed to a 6-year deal. So I don't know. Maybe if there's a quarterback he doesn't love, maybe he's like, I'll pass up on this year. 2026 looks more like a stronger quarterback class. Maybe we go that route. But yeah, personally, I hope we get somebody.
I agree, and I think it goes deeper. I mean, even for us fans, I mean, you got to give us some hope.
Yeah,
and you roll out there with AOC. There, I mean, in my opinion, I wouldn't have too much hope. I think you just need to get a quarterback for hope at this point too, because I'm tired of getting taken over this whole stadium situation.
Yeah,
I would definitely. LA or Oakland, Alex?
Huh?
Where are you from?
I'm from Oregon, man.
Oh shit, Oregon.
Yeah.
There you go. How'd you become a Raider fan? We're gonna go whole right field right now.
I don't know, man. I mean, my uncle always went for the Raiders, but I don't know. It's just one of those things where, like, you see the fucking shield, you're like, holy shit, that's badass, bro. Like,
Yeah, that's dope.
like,
That's cool, man.
yeah,
That's
I gotta be part of that. I see all the easy hats and shit like that with the NW. I'm like, yo,
cool. It's a wrap.
can't go for no other team.
It's a wrap.
We're in Oregon.
We're both in Northern Cali. I grew up about 45 minutes from Oakland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I live like in the middle of nowhere, but it's essentially like 40 minutes away from Portland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're like Central Oregon.
Kind of. I'm more towards. I don't know if you're like familiar with Oregon, but I'm close to like Mount Hood. There's like ski resort. Yeah.
Yeah, family out there. I used to live in Klamath Falls and Umpqua, and my brother lives in Prineville right now.
Oh, okay.
If you know where Prineville is, it's the most redneck place you ever been in your life. It's right outside of Bend. Yeah, they call it Prineville.
You ain't never been to Oakdale.
Oh no, it's worse than Oakdale, buddy. It's bad. Next time I go there, I'll take some videos. You'll be driving down the street in broad daylight, and you'll see just Confederate flags everywhere. It's like one of those places. It's in the middle. It's in the middle of Central Oregon.
All right, we're going too far right. We're going too far right. Back on track. Let's get back on track. All right.
I watch Oregon football all the time. That's why.
So,
all right. Are you an Oregon fan or not?
USC mainly because I've been watching USC since my brother's a USC fan. But since he lives up there, we go to Oregon games all the time. And then I lived there too as a kid. So, I've watched every Oregon quarterback. That's why I watched JPJ live. I watched Bo Nix live. I was very disappointed he turned out to be good this year. I'm like, oh, he's going to be ass.
Oh, yeah. I'm usually not high on Oregon quarterbacks, but I don't know. I still think Bo Nix, bro, next season he's going to have that sophomore slump.
Oh, for sure. I agree.
He's a situational quarterback, and I told people that I was like, he's a game manager, situational. He's going to be, Brock Purdy or less. And people are like, why? I'm like, because he doesn't throw the ball deep. He doesn't make reads. He doesn't throw the ball deep very often. He's a dink and dunk guy. And I was like, usually they burn out. Defenses just sit on him and say, okay, beat us, and they don't.
Realistically, too, if the Broncos and Chargers didn't beat us twice, they probably don't make the playoffs.
Probably, yeah.
They probably don't. They probably both miss out.
If the Broncos did not beat the Chiefs, the Bengals would have been in. So that is actually what happened. So the Chiefs lost, so the Broncos got in, and Joe Burrow had to go home. One of the best quarterbacks in the NFL got beat out. I was so pissed off about that. I wish that Kansas City went out there and beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, but they fucking put their practice squad out there. So
yeah, they did that shit on purpose.
Carson Wentz went out there. That was funny.
They did that shit on purpose. Well, let's go into some GM searches over here. We have not interviewed any GMs yet. Do you think that's a reason? There's a reason behind that?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Supposedly I saw they're gonna. I don't know if they interviewed him yet or they just requested, but supposedly the Buccaneers assistant GM, John Spytek.
Mm-hmm. John
Spytek.
They requested him, and oh my god, the
other
guy
from the Packers too. Yeah. I think John. I forgot his name. John Sullivan or something like that. But I think Spytek's probably going to be the main target. He's got that connection with Tom Brady. They used to play each other at Michigan, and he was with them with Tampa when they won the Super Bowl. And one thing I do like about him, he has like a deep background in scouting, and I definitely like that, man. I want my GM to do good in the draft. Think if you can get a GM that can do well in the draft alongside of like a Ben Johnson, who's X and O's guy on the offensive side of the football. And also Brady, man, he definitely knows his shit. Playing the quarterback position at the highest level for 20 plus years. You get all three different guys like that in the building. Good things should happen.
Definitely.
I think a lot of people were high on Ed Dobbs, but we've been saying we're going to get him for the past 3 years. Like every year, it's like, oh, we want him. And I was pulling up, today? He's already done 2 rounds of interviews with the Titans. So it doesn't seem like we're even going to request him. I think that's the guy that everybody wants, but
yeah, he's been
about him
for a while.
He's been up for a GM position for 3 or 4 years straight, and he hasn't landed one. I don't know if he wants to stay in Indy. That's why. Or he's just not getting offered jobs. Because I'm not saying that he's getting offered jobs. I'm saying he's getting a lot of interviews, though. But that's another guy I think we should interview because we have to interview 2 Rooney roles, and then we have to do 3 others. So
Correct.
We're not going to announce anybody anytime soon. So, they haven't even started interviews. And with Ben Johnson, we can't announce shit until the Lions are out of the playoffs. So we're going to be waiting a while.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So that leads into the next topic of conversation. Is it Ben Johnson? Is he a lock?
Ooh.
I say 50-50 right now.
Yeah, you think that Brady impression lasted that long? What's the word I'm looking for? Like left that impression?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, all the reports have been saying that, like, Brady's the only reason why he took the interview. It looks like initially it was just going to be Patriots, Jaguars, and what was the other team?
Bears. It was the Bears.
And the Bears, yeah. But, he took it for, I guess, Tom Brady made it happen. And, one thing about Tom Brady, you may not like him, but, like, for whatever reason, everybody fucking loves him, People that used to play with him, people that know him, they love him. So it seems like he's got that type of, that personality.
That aura
factor to him, yeah. And I think, like, you look at all the things. I mean, we have over $100 million in cap. He's gonna, have say so, and whoever the GM's gonna be. The Raiders got a lot of good things going for them. The only thing is the quarterback position, which I think, I think it's between us and the Chicago Bears, just because the Bears do have a young, talented quarterback in Caleb Williams. But besides everything else, I mean, we have the advantage in those other aspects.
I feel you there. Yeah, I agree. We're the one team that can offer, his own GM, 100 million cap space, a top 6 pick in the NFL draft. There's a lot of positives going with the Raiders. You have breakout guys like Myers, Bowers. On paper, I mean, we probably have, 6 foundational guys, but a lot of, cap space, draft picks to, build off that. So.
Yeah, I think with that, I was going over that today. We give him a blank slate, so he can create his own team. He can create his own coaching staff, his GM. Every other team, like the Bears, they already have a GM. They already have a quarterback. They have less cap space. The Jaguars, he's going to have to deal with Trevor Lawrence for a year or two, and they have a GM. So it's like with us, he gets to pick everything. It's good and bad, but he gets everything he wants. He gets total control of the team. And a lot of coaches want that. They want their own guys. Mm-hmm. So, we look at Harbaugh's situation. He came in, clean house. I fully believe he's going to get rid of Herbert in the next couple of years. And I told people that, like, you're insane. I'm like, watch. Herbert's going to fuck up. He's going to be gone. Because Harbaugh's going to want his own dude. So, yeah, I can see.
Was the Charger jab? Was the Charger jab for NFL Mike in your?
Yeah, NFL Mike. Over under Herbert's cut in 3 years.
Are you familiar with NFL Mike, Alex? He's a big Charger content creator.
Yeah, big. So we'll give Mike his props. Mike is huge on Twitter. He's friends with Joe Morley, so he does good shit. But he does a lot of reporting on other teams too, as well as the Chargers. But yeah, he gets a lot of shit talked to him. Yeah. No, Ben Johnson, he gets to do everything over with us. So that's really appealing. Like, if I was a guy like that, I get to come in. I don't want to live in anybody's shadow. I had to come and be the man, and he seems like he could be. Look what he's doing, Jared Goff. Jared Goff was a nothing. Like, that was a cap casualty by the Rams. They're like, hey, we're going to get rid of him because we think he's washed up. And, look at both those teams now. So, the Lions are just on the ascent, and the Rams are probably, not going to do very well in the playoffs going forward.
Yeah, we'll see. So this whole, the whole coaching thing. So we're all relying on Ben Johnson. Then, Pete Carroll. We sound all in. Pete Carroll. He's gonna bring, in my opinion, he'll bring immediate culture. He'll bring stability to the locker room. He's old, very old. But Raiders need some stability. They need some culture. These guys are all getting pissed off. They're all leaving. Adams, so on. How do you guys feel about Pete Carroll? Start with Alex.
You can go first.
Like you say, he is a bit old. If to me, like, before Pete Carroll, another guy I'd be interested in is Todd Monken. It looks like we're going to interview him as well. Todd Monken is a little bit older as well, but I don't know. I think Pete Carroll, you told me, like, worst case scenario, that's what we get. I'm not going to be super mad at it, but I just think there's better options. Ultimately, like, I like kind of swinging for the fences, like a guy like Ben Johnson, or like a Todd Monken, just like a modern day, offensive play caller. Try to get yourself, like, the next Sean McVay type of head coach. But I don't know. I wouldn't be like super pissed off about Pete Carroll, but at this point of his career, just in general, when it comes to the Raiders, I have like PTSD with getting guys that are older, kind of past their prime.
Mm-hmm.
It always seems like we get somebody like that, and they just come to collect their last NFL paycheck, and they're out the door in a couple of years.
Yeah, I feel you on that, man. I was just saying too. The NFL is moving in a whole different direction. You look at McVay, you look at Shanahan, Cliff Kingsbury, what they're doing with their quarterbacks and what they're doing. It's new. They're not lining up with the fullbacks. They're running a lot of motion, a lot of seam routes, comeback routes, option routes. I don't want a guy who's old school.
No.
And that's just me. I want an innovative guy. I want someone new. I think that's Ben Johnson for me.
Yeah. We haven't even requested an interview with Liam Cohen yet, have we? I don't think we have.
No.
Yeah, we haven't yet. Yeah, I think that one was just a rumor because he's available. But for me, it's Ben Johnson because you see with Pete Carroll. Let's be honest, he's an all-time great. He's a Hall of Famer. He's all that with college and pro. But the thing is, he's 73 years old. The game has passed him by. Coaches have shelf lives too, just like players. They have their prime. They have when they're great, then they tail off, and then that's it. They have to retire. Carroll was given that, just like Belichick. You can resign, but realistically, if Carroll would have tried to stick around, they would have had to fire him because he was tanking down. The teams were losing, and they weren't doing as well as they were before because coaches have a shelf life, and people don't want to admit that. They're like, "Get Gruden back." I'm like, "No, what the fuck are you? Stop! Like, please don't do that again." Like, Carroll is going to be I don't understand when people you need to try something new, but people are scared because they attach an offensive coordinator. Raider fans are with Josh McDaniels. They're like, oh, McDaniels is a coordinator. McDaniels is a guru. So is Ben Johnson. Don't trust him. But you got to look past that. There's a lot of new coaches that are coming out every year. Some are going to be good, some are going to be bad, but you got to take a risk. You can't use these recycled coaches. Somebody commented, we should hire Ron Rivera. Why would we hire him? It's a 500 coach.
I think Monken would be amazing if we got Milroe.
Oh,
Milroe, yeah.
I think those are the two you'd have to pair. If you go get Milroe, you got to get Monken. Look what Monken has done with Lamar Jackson. I think they're very similar, in my opinion, and I think you would have to.
Yeah, we're supposed to interview him. So, I personally, I got Ben Johnson, then like Monken. And then, there's other guys I'd be interested in, but it looks like the Raiders aren't interested in him. I would, I like the Bills offensive coordinator, Joe Brady. I'm also, I would definitely consider Cliff Kingsbury as well, but it looks like, the Raiders, I don't really see him getting a lot of interviews or anything like that, which honestly, if I was the Chicago Bears, I think that would be a good match, Cliff Kingsbury going back with Caleb Williams, but we'll see what happens.
The thing with Cliff Kingsbury too is, the way he backed out last year, I don't think Mark Davis would offer him another contract.
You guys know he backed out USD too, right? This is the second time he's done that as a professional. He did it at USC too. That's why people don't like him. And that's the number one reason I do not think Ben Johnson is going to go to the Bears because of Cliff Kingsbury. Kingsbury wants to be a head coach again. And if Ben Johnson's there, who the hell's going to call plays? They're going to fight. They both want to be the play caller. So it's like, why would you have two of the guys who are exactly the same on the same team? That's kind of why I see that if Cliff leaves and I'm like, oh, shit, Ben's going to go there. But, if Cliff stays, I'm not really worried about it.
So another hypothetical here. Say Sanders falls into your lap. Does Dion come? You don't think so? You don't think Dion is going to try to associate himself with Shedeur?
No, well, supposedly I saw that the Raiders aren't interested in him, and
I see that too.
like yesterday, there's a lot of chatter going around that he's going to join Dallas.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It seems like Dion's all in to try to come to Vegas, but I don't. Before Tom Brady came here, you would have told me that. I think that's definitely a Mark Davis type of move. Like, I definitely don't count that out. But
right up Mark Davis's alley.
Yeah,
big name coach, they can't do shit.
Yeah, right up his alley. Yeah, but we'll see. I think he does end up joining the Cowboys. I think Jerry Jones does hire Dion, but then maybe Cowboys straight up for Shedeur. We'll see.
That's weird.
That's weird.
Oh, sorry. The only thing that's weird about at least I didn't expect Dion to go to the Cowboys just because it seems like everybody says that Jerry Jones is like an attention whore. And he wants all the credit and everything like that. So that's but I don't know if he's gonna pull the trigger on that or not. But we'll see.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants that Cowboys job. It's not very coveted. They're getting recycled coaches, ones that are average or above average, because Jerry Jones goes on a podcast every week and throws people, coaches, and players under the bus. What other fucking DM does that? He has a weekly podcast. Like, GMs and owners don't do that. That's not a thing. It's just him. So he's in the same boat as Mark Davis. Until they relinquish control of the team, they're going to be in poverty. Like, that's just the real thing. They were so talented the past couple years, and they couldn't do anything because I think Jerry was just toxic. So I don't think they pull a big name coach because Primetime knows if he gets into the pros and he messes up, it's going to be a long time before he gets another chance.
Fair.
But they gonna give him that bag though. I don't know, man.
That is true. Money
like, I got 100. I know. I saw Ben Johnson's contract demand 6 years, $60 million guaranteed. I was like, man, we're gonna have $100 million wrapped up in coaches right now if we do that.
That's the Gruden contract.
Gruden, AP, McDaniels, and then whatever coach. So we're paying $40 million this year in coaches, and then whatever coach we add on to it is what we're going to pay.
Gruden was settled, I believe. I think there was a settlement.
Yeah, that's the Gruden contract. So we have $40 million wrapped up in coaches.
That's insane.
That's insanity, right? Yeah, but hey,
well, I mean, we need one. So I mean, Ben Johnson, give him a blank check. We fucked up all these other times. Might as well try it.
Yeah.
My opinion. Do you guys see the comment on Devontae Adams over the past couple days that he would be opening to rejoining an old team?
Yeah, I posted that. Fuck that guy. That's it. Done.
Go ahead, Alex. Josh is always fuck that guy.
He's got to be talking about the Packers, right? No way he's talking about the Raiders.
I mean, he said some fan bases are salty that he left, but for the right situation, he would come back. And I believe we're the salty fan base.
Yep. He made references to Green Bay. They said rhymes with smackers, and he laughed. They didn't name either team. But then he started talking about, because people weren't upset that he left Green Bay. People were upset that he left Oakland. So he started talking about the situation. He's like, these people, he's like, fans don't know what's good for me or best for my family. Sometimes I have to do things that are better for me that might hurt fans. And some fans are salty. So he was talking about the Raiders. And I told people that. I'm like, you read between the lines, he's talking about the Raiders because we hate them.
You talking about the Raiders. He said salty fans. We're the salty fans.
Yeah. But, no. I don't. We don't need a 30-year-old, aging, washed-up wide receiver. We're good.
I don't think it happens. Yeah. It's just fucking, just talk, off-season talk. Receiver. Let's dive deep into receivers here. Obviously, we need one. Jacoby Myers was great. He had 0 catch. There's 0 drops throughout the year. Brock Bowers is great. Do you need another receiver?
You want me to answer that?
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I think at this point, I mean, we're a 4-13 team. I mean, we got a lot of needs. I wouldn't necessarily put it, like on top of the priority list, but there is a lot of good, receivers this year in the draft. So I think it's definitely a position you look at. I see a lot of people having us take that wide receiver from I think Arizona at number 6. I don't know if I draft them that early. There's also T. Higgins available in free agency. I don't know if you spend a big money on a guy that has been banged up. I think you definitely look at a wide receiver, but I think there's other needs. I'd rather focus on quarterback, offensive line, kind of go from there.
I feel you there, man. Especially the thing with T. Higgins. I love T. Higgins. I think he's a great receiver, but the attention obviously went to Jamar Chase. Can he handle that? Being that number 1 receiver pressure. Can he handle the double coverages?
Let him. Oh God, Brock! If they're double covering T. Higgins, Brock's gonna just run. He's gonna have another 100 receptions, dude. Like, go for it.
That's a good one. No, that's a good point. It's a good point. But obviously, Jamar Chase took a lot of pressure off of T. Higgins.
Yeah. So he was open a lot. He had one-on-one coverage. So, I think his production would drop, but he's still a deep threat, so he's going to beat people.
So is he worth $30 million a year?
No, he's not. No, I would draft somebody in the third round.
I like Ricky White out of UNLV. I think he does pretty well.
Is the Ohio State wide receiver coming out? Was it Jeremiah Smith?
I believe Jeremiah Smith is coming.
Yeah, he's a dog.
He's a dog.
Yeah, a lot of those guys, a lot of the good receivers, like the guy from Oregon, Nash,
Renfro.
Renfro.
Reading comments. I'm sorry, dude. Some of these comments, my bad. Renfro.
I got my Renfro jersey back here, man.
Yeah, suit up.
Yeah, no, we a lot of these really good wide receivers are slotted to go in the second to the fourth round because they're like each one's like they're not elite. They're like, oh, this guy doesn't cut as well as he should, or this guy doesn't run top end as good as he should, or this guy's might be a little undersized. But there seems like there's gonna be a lot of good wide receivers in the second to fourth round of this draft. Yeah. So I don't think we have to get in a free agency. I think we're gonna draft one in the third or fourth, and he's gonna compete with Tucker for that secondary wide receiver spot.
Yeah, what do you guys think about Trey Tucker?
I think Trey Tucker's a dog. I think he's undersized, obviously, but you put him in the slot, you let him do his thing, run downfield, catch those 30, 40-yard bombs.
Yeah. Trey Tucker to me is probably, one of the – if you put him on the outside, he's going to get jammed up. He's little, but he's stupid fast. He has a deep ball. He caught, 50 balls for 500 yards this year, which is great for him. So if he does the 40, 400, 40, 450, I think that's where he is. Targeting him more than that, that's kind of when you have some issues. So him as a number 3, number 2, moving in and out, perfect for him. But I think we need somebody to complement him, to be honest. We don't have that on our roster right now.
Yeah. What do you think about Tucker, Alex?
I don't know. I've been a little disappointed with him. I was expecting him to kind of develop it a little bit more. He's really one-dimensional. Yeah. And he still needs to work on he's got the drops are not getting both feet in bounds. Yeah. Kind of like you said though, he's a good guy to have on the team though. Ideally for me, a number 3 type of guy. Mm-hmm. But yeah, definitely agree though. Ideally you want to get a true number 1 guy on the outside. You got Jacoby Myers that can versatile, can get in and out, really dependable, sure-handed catcher, and then you got Brock Bowers that can do basically anything for tight end. So, yeah, what do you guys? I mean, if Travis Hunter ended up falling at number 6, what do you guys say about that?
I would love Travis Hunter. He had a lot of drama in the offseason. The drama is going to follow him to the NFL.
Anything follow him. That's going to be more in Vegas. Come on.
Hey man, don't be saying that. Every hotel got that chair. But I would love Travis Hunter. I think he should be top 3. There's no reason he shouldn't be top 3. He's he plays both ways.
But what is he going to play though in the NFL? You can't do both.
I think he does kind of corner. I think corner. Yeah. I think though he could probably get maybe 10 snaps a game at receiver.
Yeah, and I heard people saying, "Oh, he's going to start both ways, or he can start a majority." I'm like, no, that's not a thing in the NFL because you got to think that's a full-time job going to those meetings for defensive, and then practice. I was like, it's just full-time job for offensive. That's why you can't do it. I was like, he'll be a gimmick guy. They'll run and get plays. They'll put him, try to have him run some routes, but he's going to have that. If he plays wide receiver, he's going to have that target on his head. Somebody's going to try to clock him or try to hurt him. That's the problem. And if he's that good of a corner, you don't want that to happen. I mean, look at Woodson. Woodson didn't really do it in the NFL that much.
Yeah.
So
I love Travis Hunter. I think he's going to be a dog. He has some issues, but hopefully those situate out. What do you think about him, Alex?
I think if he falls at 6, it's kind of hard to pass up on him. But I do think you make a good point, Josh, that at the next level, he ain't gonna be doing what he did at Colorado. Playing that many snaps at wide receiver and cornerback. He's gonna have to focus on one, specialize on that, and then he does give you that versatility where maybe he can on certain packages and certain situations can go in as a wide receiver. At least from his skill sets, it looks like he'd be better suited as corner, but I don't know, financially it would be, probably be better for him to try to, be the best wide receiver he can be. But ultimately, I think he'd be a better corner. And like I said, maybe just certain situations you get him in as a wide receiver. And also, isn't he pretty good when it comes to special teams and things like that?
Yeah.
So he could be a game changer in that aspect too.
He could be like that 3rd and 10 guy, the 3rd and 15. You know, something a little bit downfield where you're not going to hurt him as much.
And then
you want him running across the middle.
I'm gonna yell right now. Okay, this is one of the most frustrating things to me. Okay, that whole BPA bullshit. Telesco's gone. We're gonna draft the need. Okay, we need a cornerback. We need a wide receiver. People are saying draft Carter. Carter's gonna be fucking good. He's gonna be Parsons level. But the thing is, we don't need him. And if we draft him, we already have a deep rotation of defensive linemen. We're gonna have so many fucking holes. It's not going to matter. So, it's great we have Bowers. And I got a lot of shit for this because I said, great, we drafted the best tight end who's going to be an all-pro, chance to be a Hall of Famer. Does it get us more wins? No, it doesn't. A tight end is a royalty. It's not a necessity. I just want to scream when people say draft. He'd be fucking killer against for Max, but then Kuntz is going to be on the bench. Wilson's going to be on the bench. Chase Young's going to be on the bench. So you got all these guys who aren't going to be playing, sitting on the bench while we drafted this guy where we still have all these other holes. So, what do you think about that?
The whole BPA thing? I mean, we do have a lot of holes, so I don't know. But I think Carter, which you talking about Abdul Carter or whatever? The guy from Penn State or whatever? Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, Tyree Wilson didn't pan out. So, he might be the guy that, we were hoping Tyree Wilson could be. And, you get a guy on the defensive line. If he can be elite, I'll never be mad at that, man. If you can get an elite defensive line, it helps out all levels of the defense. But it depends exactly who you select.
Very true, very true. So let's hypothetically. I mean, I know we just brought up Travis Hunter. At 6, say Hunter, and for some reason Shador's there. Who do you guys go? Do you go quarterback?
Damn.
That's a tough one.
That is a hard one.
If Hunter and Sanders are both there, I mean, who do you guys? I mean, say Giants take an offensive lineman or some bullshit, It's just hypothetical. Who would you go?
I mean, the Browns might not draft a quarterback. They
might be Cousins.
I don't know. Watson's out for next season, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's out all year, but he's under contract and it's fully guaranteed. So it's he's going to be there. Fucking bitching and moaning. And the thing is, what if you draft a quarterback? That's always going to be the back of his head that Watson's there making $40 million a year. It's just.
I believe Dion put that news out the other day that I think it wasn't said who did it, but about the news that Shador's not allowed to play in Cleveland.
Yeah, I wouldn't go there. It's a fucking career killer.
It had to be work. So who do you go? Let's go Hunter or Shador. Who would you go?
Quarterback. We have to. We need a quarterback.
Who do you go, Alex?
Yeah, that's a tough one, man. If I had to choose, man, I'm probably leaning Shador Sanders, and that's just because I'm a little bit higher on Shador than most people, but
me too.
I don't know, man. I probably lean Shador.
Yeah, I feel that. Shador was one of the best pocket passers in college last year. He had over a 70% completion rate from the pocket.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people I don't know if they don't watch him or anything, but a lot of people are like, oh, we don't need this flashy, quarterback that just runs. I'm like, bro, that's not Shador. He's a pass first guy, he's really athletically, he's nothing really special, but he can use his legs. I mean, the one thing that kind of worried me is in that bowl game, he looked pretty damn slow out there. I don't know. He didn't really look like that during the college regular season, but I like him. The only thing I just, a little bit worried about him is just I don't really see that huge upside, that huge potential, but I kind of see him being sort of like a Tua Tagovailoa type of quarterback, just without CTE.
Yeah, that's a fair comparison.
My favorite meme, it was Tua puts on the Guardians cap and he puts on the baseball hat. Instead of I fucking died. I was like, dude. So the speed with Sanders. I love looking at the sabermetrics of players because it kind of gives you an inlay of what percentage they're going to be a success. Sanders runs a 4.6, 4.7 40. So it's not very fast. It's fast enough, but he's not a runner. And I think people forget that. His attitude reminds me of Baker Mayfield. So, which I love. I love Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield goes out there and talks shit. and he has fun, but he backs it up too. He backs it up for the most part. The only thing that worried me about Sanders was his dad. That was the only kind of red flag I had, because his dad can talk shit about whatever coach we want. What are we going to do about it? Like, he's a Hall of Fame player, and he's good at the college level. He'd be like, "Hey, you're fucking up my kid," or "You're calling the wrong plays," or "You're doing this." And if he does that, it's just a whole bunch of other drama that the Raiders have. And I made a joke last week. I was like, Sanders ran like a 4.65 and Aiden O'Connell ran a 4.7 40. They're literally about the same speed. That's just how. That's wild, right? Tell me that's not wild, but it's how you use it. That's the difference.
Yeah, especially too, like the 40-yard. It doesn't always tell you. Like some guys, they run a 4.6 or whatever, but like on the field with actual pads and stuff, they look a lot faster, and vice versa. So I don't know, like
Same thing with height. All these quarterbacks are like 5'10", 5'11", and then they put cleats on. They're measured at 6'1".
Oh, I know. My favorite, what was it? The first time I met Josh Jacobs when we drafted him, and I think they listened to like 5'10", 5'11". And I was with my girlfriend, and like Jacob stands next to her, and he's barely taller than her, and she's 5'6". And I was like, "He's 5'10". I mean, he's literally this fucking wide. But I was like, no, he's not 5'10". It's like, that's a lie. That's a bunch of bullshit.
Well, it's like Brock Bowers. We stood next to Brock Bowers. He's not that tall.
Yeah, he's very slim and athletic. Like, I thought he was gonna be this big old jack dude. I'm like, now Meyer. I stood next to Meyer. Meyer's fucking huge.
Parham fucking leaned over me.
Yeah. Parham was what? He's like 6'3", 6'4", like 350. He's huge.
Crazy.
And then remember AOC, how big we saw him? We saw him. It's fucking monster.
Oh yeah, AOC leaned over us too.
Like AOC, tall as fuck, or
he's tall as fuck. AOC's fucking like
I'm 6'1",
6'6", 6'7".
No, he's
crazy because his girlfriend. I mean, his girlfriend's like 6'5" too. They're gonna have some athletes.
Not that tall. But no, I took a picture with AOC, and like comfortably, he put his elbow on my shoulder, and I'm 6'1", and like I'm an actual 6'1", like I measured without shoes. And I saw him. I'm like, this dude is not 6'2". There's no way he's 6'2". Like, he's way bigger than that. And he's super wide. I was like, this dude's fucking huge. No wonder he can't run. That's what I first thought. But yeah, it's a trip. You see some of these players, and like some are just like massive as shit. Some are tiny. Some look like they can crush you with their bare hands for fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're getting to an hour. Alex, we appreciate you coming on, bullshitting. Meme God. I mean, you're going crazy with those memes. I mean, every morning they're in all my Raider group chat, bro. Whether it's with Josh or with my other buddies, they're always in there.
I appreciate that, man.
Hey, I was like, guess who I'm having on? He's like, who? I was like, the meme guy. He's like, I was like, Alex. He's like, oh, because my kid watches your shit on my phone. The appropriate stuff. Some of it gets saucy.
Yeah.
But it's funny. Everybody knows who you are, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, you're doing great things out there. I mean, shit. If you're ever at a game, pull up. I'm always in B-Law. Josh is always on the other side.
Okay.
Do you go to Vegas quite a bit? Yeah.
I've been. How many times have I been now? Twice. I went this year at the Monday Night Football game versus Atlanta. And then last year I went versus the Giants when it was AP's first game.
Okay.
So I've been twice to Allegiant Stadium.
And then I'm assuming, have you been to the Coliseum before?
I've been once. Luckily I got to go the last year when they were there. I think it was versus the Detroit Lions.
Okay.
Glad to experience that. So
that was a good ass game too. That was a Renfro catch, right? In the corner.
Yeah.
That's just badass. That's good. How do you compare the two?
Oh man, Allegiant Stadium is definitely like super nice stadium and everything, but like if you're looking for like the ultimate like game atmosphere, Oakland, that was a hell of a game.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made a joke last week. I was like, it smelled like over the last game. It smelled like Oakland finally. Like all the bathrooms smelled like weed. I was like, this smells like Oakland again.
Yeah, bro. You walked in there straight cheap.
I miss the bathroom hot boxes too.
Yeah. Oh, people puking in the troughs and everything. Fuck, dude.
It'll never be anything like Oakland.
Yeah, the only thing that threw me off was the bathrooms in Oakland. It's like these big ass bathtubs and shit. You just piss in.
They're pretty ugly. Oh. They're pretty ugly. You know what though? The atmosphere was amazing. I miss it. I miss it every day. Oh man, but we appreciate you coming on. So, final question: who's your Super Bowl pick?
Ooh, good question, man. I think it's gonna be the Buffalo Bills versus the Philadelphia Eagles. I say Josh Allen takes it home finally.
There you go, Fireball, California. Josh Allen. What do you got, Josh?
I'm gonna go Bills versus the Lions. A shootout. If it becomes a shootout again, yeah, I'm calling for the Bills. I just fuck KC. They need to get knocked out this year.
Yeah,
Oh God,
KC. I fucking hate KC. Fucking KC, man. Well, what I would say my pick real quick. I got Ravens versus Lions. I think Ravens pull it off. I think Lamar Jackson gets his Super Bowl this year.
Ooh.
Yeah,
that'd be good. He deserves it. He really deserves it. He's such a good quarterback, and he gets so much shit.
Mm-hmm.
Henry
gets the Super Bowl, Lamar gets the Super Bowl. I think it happens.
I mean, me and Andrew are kind of the same way. We're one of those guys that loves watching football. We watch other players. Like I've been watching Derrick Henry since his rookie. He's like one of my favorite players I've ever watched. I'm like, man, I wish we would have drafted him. But when you see,
huge, like we're just talking about dudes that are huge. He is huge. No Diddy. This dude is fucking huge.
Yeah. We had a chance to draft him too, didn't we?
Yeah, we
did.
I can't remember who.
Hard Ward or wherever the fuck it was, or something like that.
Hard Word. Yeah.
Fuck, bro.
Derrick Henry is a fucking monster. That dude is a beast.
That fool carried my fantasy football team this year, so yeah.
That was a monster, man. I think they get it. I do think they get it.
You can ask Andrew who won our league.
I didn't try.
You didn't. Everybody lost to me. I fucking won.
I beat you. What do you mean? I just didn't play you in playoffs.
You didn't make the playoffs. He's taking him outside the club. Oh man,
that's funny. Yeah.
All right, we're all around. So thanks, man. I appreciate it for being on anytime, man. We're trying to have some fun. We're getting people on.
Oh yeah. Thank you guys for having me on, man.
Yeah. Thanks for being on, brother. Take care. Have a good one. Give him a follow, RaiderAlex Official. He's on. Are you on YouTube as RaiderAlex Official as well?
Well, technically my handle, is RaiderAlex Official, or you can just search up RaiderAlex. I should pop up.
Give him a follow. Give him a subscribe. You guys want the funniest Raider memes? This is the guy. He posts a lot of that stuff on his Instagram page. So give him a follow. Cool, man. We appreciate you coming on. Take care. Have a good one.
All right.